What's the next thing to be canceled? More British comedy or the entire UK? Hello everyone, I am Becca Random 42, the one, the only, the original, your favorite YouTube harpy. And if you guys do like the content, like, subscribe, share, all the things. I have been really struggling to not yell and rant and rave, seeing some of the recent news about all of my favorite shows suddenly disappearing left, right, and center. And it's getting even so bad that some of our journalists who work for some of these publications are getting upset too. And you know what that means? We get the theme music. You get Queen Mecha today. In street clothes. Hopefully that's alright. Oh, riding crop. Silly me. Right, let's take a look at some of the long list of recently canceled shows. Shows that I really love. The most recent one right now that we're talking about is Fawlty Towers. Yeah, they're getting rid of at least a specific episode. What? Oh no, Fawlty Towers, Don't Mention the War is a satire on British jingoism and is not an endorsement. This is foolish UK TV. Reverse your decision. I can read, I know. Boomer. Do that now. John Sweeney is calling out The Guardian. Well, who's John Sweeney, you might ask? He actually works for The Guardian. He's got his link there. And, yeah, here we go. Fawlty Towers, Don't Mention the War. It's just the episode. It's just the episode right now. Oh, you see my stack. You can see my stack of DVDs coming in. I have props. Not only do I have the crystal ball, for the jiggles and things, I also have props like the Fawlty Towers DVDs, because physical media is so important, and this is why I try to collect all the shows that I really love, like Fawlty Towers, because if people cannot understand some of the intent of some of these things, now I'm not defending every single instance that we're mentioning here, but I am going to hold some people accountable for what they can and can't consume, because I don't like the fact that the world is being censored by a bunch of children who don't understand things. Oh yeah, the episode Don't Mention the War is removed from UK TV due to, well, you know what they say, don't mention the Germans. Ooh, Mechaception. I like that. I like Mechaception with the green screen. We'll keep using that one. That's unintentional. An episode of Fawlty Towers, famous for coining the phrase Don't Mention the War, has become the latest classic British television program to be taken down from a BBC-owned streaming service as broadcasters continue to conduct reappraisal of old British television content. Yeah. Here's the thing. I am a huge Anglophile, huge fan of the funny British comedy, the British television, and even if I might laugh at something that might be a little offensive, I'm mature enough to know intent behind things. And I'm mature enough to not throw a temper tantrum about everything I find offensive. Because, let's face it, sometimes it's okay to be offended by things. No, I'm not defending. I'm mad. I'm mad, and I come to you as Queen Mecha of logic and reason and all of the fandom menace and reality, the universe. We need some ability to see and ask and question and discuss. And if you just remove things and pretend they don't exist, then how are we going to progress as a society just by removing there's more to this. There's more to this. Here we go. A spokesperson. Sorry. Cancel Mecha. She said the wrong pronoun. She said spokesman instead of spokesperson. For UKTV repeatedly refused to clarify why the program had been removed or whether the decision was permanent. We aren't commenting on individual titles, however, we regularly review our programs and make edits, warnings, and make schedule changes where necessary to ensure that our channel meets the expectations of our audience. Well, for me as an audience member, I want Fawlty Towers as it was intended, as it was originally written, as a piece of historical and important and fucking hilarious comedy. That is what I want, and I'm an adult enough to know what the intent is, what's offensive, what's not offensive, and I can look at it and say, oh, that's a little offensive. But hey, if the world wants us to treat us all like children, I'm sure we can do that. It is unclear what prompted the company to stop streaming the episode, which culminates in Cleese's character making comments about the Second World War to a German family. Yeah, and he also had pretty much a concussion. He had a bandage around his head the whole time. That's one of the iconic pictures on the back of the freaking box, from what I recall, right? The original broadcast also included a scene which Major Gowan, a regular guest in the hotel, uses strong, ist language in relation to an anecdote about the West Indies cricket team. A decade ago, many broadcasters began editing this part out of the program, although the language can still be heard on the version hosted by Netflix. The Fawlty Towers episode in question, first shown in 1975, also features Cleese's you're just using that word, aren't you? Character apparently shocked at being treated in hospital by a black doctor. Yeah, because he thought he was in World War II. He thought am I remembering it right? Didn't he think he was like in the? Didn't he think that was the? That was the point of it, because he was funny in the head. Didn't something fall? Didn't? I'm trying not to yell. I'm trying not to rant. Growing scrutiny over historic isms in archive entertainment programs is prompting broadcasters to check their back catalogs and respond to criticism of shows that were once considered to be family entertainment. And you know, I have no problem with having a little bit of a disclaimer up there, you know, like they did with Beavis and Butthead. When Beavis and Butthead fans, like the little kids who were watching them, decided to go and emulate something they saw in Beavis and Butthead when he said, fire, fire, fire. Actually, I think I even have that on my soundboard still, don't I?
Fire, 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 fire.
Yeah, he wasn't allowed to say it 3 times in a row because some kid acted out, and I think he blew up the kitchen, even though that was a different episode where Beavis and Butthead did blow up a kitchen. And Mike Judge's response to that was to make an episode where Beavis and Butthead went out and tied a key to a kite in an attempt to recreate what they saw Benjamin Franklin do on a documentary. So, does this not sort of mirror the same instance where if people are really taking these shows and using that as an excuse to be hateful and project hate towards each other? Is this really the same situation where we just have to treat the world like they're a bunch of children because they can't understand things? Because, you know what? I can do that. We can do that if we really need to. Oh, and there's more. And of course, there's been other shows that have been removed, and I did comment a little bit on this one. Little Britain has been removed from, I believe, Netflix, along with Come Fly With Me, which I never got on DVD. Really regretting that one. Little Britain has been removed for portrayal of characters of, well, let's just face it, David Walliams plays a woman who is black in a full-on black suit. Oh yeah, they also play transvestites. They also play a whole mess of characters. Yeah, a lot of them are pretty offensive. A lot of them are pretty A lot of them are very distasteful if you hold them to today's standards, especially. But if you hold them to the standard of 2000 sketch comedy, and I've said this before, how else are you going to show inclusion and representation in your characters when you're just a 2-man troupe of 2 white guys? And now this goes along with some of these other ones. Oh, and on a side note, while we're here, The In-Betweeners is The In-Betweeners next. Mystery, as a hugely popular sitcom, takes down all of its episodes from the YouTube channel and claims offensive content sparked complaints. Wow, this looks weird on the green screen, but that's alright. This is actually the PAL version, which I don't even have an all-region player anymore. But I love this show, and it was way cheaper and way earlier to get on DVD than the other version. I used to have one. So that is another one that they've pulled down. This is basically live-action British Beavis and Butthead. It's horny boys trying to get laid. That's all that is. And it's funny. And I find it hilarious. And are there some offensive moments? Probably. I don't know. I haven't watched it in a while. You tell me, is The In-Betweeners offensive? Or are people just attacking all comedy right now? And all British comedy at that. Oh, and there's more. Netflix pulls The Mighty Boosh and League of Gentlemen over blackface characters. All right. League of Gentlemen I already talked about just a smidgen, I believe. If I didn't, I apologize. I know I was intending to. Yeah, it's got characters that people have said, oh yes, that's a minstrel. Again, you've got a comedy troupe of, what, 3 guys? About 3 guys doing an entire village of characters. I'm not defending their choices, but at least give people the option on whether or not they want to be offended by something. At least use that as a teaching tool. At least something so we can at least have something to laugh about. And you see it right there. Oh, you see it in the title. And the one that hurts me most of all. You see it up there in the title. It is the one that hurts me most of all. The Mighty Boosh is the latest one to be removed, and let's recenter this while I try and hold in my rage. All right, how far down did their things scroll? I was going to pull up some images and footage of, you know, particularly the Spirit of Jazz or Rudy and Spider's another one I can think of. But again, my same argument is 2 white British comedians. What does that do for creativity? What does this do for the creative process when you are refined to creating characters that only look like you in any form? I mean, you could just as easily argue that the Hitcher and the Spirit of Jazz are very, very, very similar characters, even though one is in greenface and one of them is in, I would almost say, cartoon makeup almost. So much to the point where I often wonder, okay, is this like an actual human or is this actually a spirit from the netherworld where it wouldn't even apply because it would just be, because yeah, The Mighty Boosh is one of those that it is weird, it is odd. And if you haven't seen it, it's got a lot of music, it's got a lot of odd instances. You've got a gorilla. Oh no, they're gonna come after Ballo in the gorilla suit. No, don't you come after Ballo. Ballo lives matter because he's adorable and he's a gorilla. They're gonna come after guys dressing up as gorilla to play talking gorilla. They're gonna come after Shaman. Look, I get it. I get what's offensive by it. I understand that. And I really get why these things are offensive. Why these things are questionable and sensitive right now. I'm not excusing them. I'm just questioning, where do we draw the line? What's next? When can we actually be allowed to choose what we find offensive and not have to stick to standards that are constantly changing? Standards constantly change. What is acceptable one day is no longer acceptable the next as we grow and learn and progress as a society. And in 20 or 30 years, when we have people running and screaming about everything, I guarantee you, because it says so right here, the crystal ball, that they're going to shun a lot of what's happening right now and remind people how outdated this time is and how outdated a lot of what's going on now is. And hopefully people will have some sense at some point and learn sometimes people need the freedom to choose. Tell me what you guys think in the comment section below. I am MechaRandom42, and I'll see you guys later. Bye! Thanks for watching! If you liked it, make sure to hit that like button, and if you want to see more, don't forget to subscribe. See you in the next video. Bye!